turns and calls. Oh.
Oh, gosh, I'm not gonna
Sissy Cafferty, her voice soaring higher.
just pretend. She has got it. She got it wherever she put it. The leg of the duck.
Stephen flourishing the ash plant of his left hand, chants with joy the introit for pastoral time. Lynch, his jockey cap low on his brow, attends him, a sneer of discontent wrinkling his face. Stephen.
Vidi aquam ingredientum di templo a litere dextro, alleluia.
Amen.
Good call, man. I'm impressed. The famous snaggle tusk of an elderly bald protrude from the doorway. The bald.
Come here. I'll tell you. Maidenhead inside.
Stephen Antinius Aquilium. That's not
Yes,
right.
Et omnes ad quos provenit aqua ista.
The bald spits in her trail a jet of venom.
Trinity Medicals. Fallopian tube. All prick, no pence.
Edie Broadman sniffling crotches with crouched. I can't even get the easy words. Crouched with Bertha supple, draws her shawl across her nostrils. Eddie Boardman. Bickering.
And says the one, I seen you up Faithful Place with your square pusher, the greaser off the railway, in his come-to-bed hat. Did you, says I? That's not for you to say, says I. You never seen me in the man-trap with a married Highlander, says I. The likes of her. Stag that one is. Stubborn as a mule. And her walking with two fellows the one time? Kilbride, the engine driver, and Lance Corporal Oliphant.
Stephen.
Salve facti sunt.
He flourishes his ash plant, shivering the lamp image, scattering light over the world. A liver and white spaniel on the prowl slinks after him growling. Lynch scares it with a kick. Lynch.
So that?
Stephen looks behind.
So that gesture, not music, not orders, would be a universal language. The gift of tongues rendering visible not the lay sense, but the first entelechy, the structural rhythm.
Lynch.
Pornosyphilical philology. Metaphysics in Mecklenburg Street.
Stephen.
We have shoe-ridden Shakespeare and henpecked Socrates. Even the all-wisest Staggerite was bitted, bridled, and mounted by a light of love.
Lynch.
Pah.
Stephen.
Anyway, who wants two gestures to illustrate a loaf and a jug? This movement illustrates the loaf and jug of bread and wine in Omar. Hold my stick.
Lynch.
Damn your yellow stick. Where are we going?
Stephen.
Lecherous link to La Belle Dame sans mercy, Georgina. Yeah. Georgina Johnson. I do it with the New England accent.
I do not.
Cadine te latifica juvenatudum viam.
Stephen thrusts the ash plant on him and slowly holds up his hands, his head going back till both hands are in the span of his breast, down turned in planes intersecting, his fingers about to part, the left being higher. Lynch.
Which is the jug of bread? It skills not. That or the custom house, illustrate thou. Here, take your crutch and walk.
They pass. Tommy Cafferty scrambles to the gas lamp and, gasping, climbs the spasms. From the top spur he slides down. Jackie Cafferty grasps the climb. The Navy lurches against the lamp. The twins scuttle off in the dark. The Navy, swaying, presses a forefinger against the wing of his nose and injects from the further nostril a long liquid jet of snot. I didn't write it. Shouldering the lamp, he staggers away through the crowd with his flaring crescent. Snakes of river fog creep slowly from drains, clefts, cesspools. Middens arise on all sides, stagnant fumes. A glow leaps in the south beyond the seaward reaches of the river. The Navy staggers forward, cleaves the crowd, and lurches toward the tram siding. On the further side, under the railway bridge, Bloom appears flushed, panting, cramming bread and chocolate into his side pocket. From Gillian's hairdresser's window. A composite portrait shows him gallant Nelson's image. A concave mirror on the side presents him with a love-lorn, love-lost Lagerberg Beulah home. Grave Gladstone sees him level, bloom for bloom. He passes, struck by the stare of the transient Wellington, truculent Wellington, but in the convex mirror grin unstruck the Bonholm eyes and fat chuck cheek chops of Jolly Potty, the Polly, Jolly Polly, the Redux Dolly. Woo! At Antonio Ribaudi's door, Bloom halts, sweated under the bright arch lamps. He disappears. In the moment, he reappears and hurries on. Bloom!
Fish and taters on...
He disappears into Onhausen's, the pork butcher's, under the downcoming roll shutter. A few moments later, he emerges from under the shutter, puffing potty, blowing blowhoom, and in each hand he holds a parcel, one containing a lukewarm pig's crabrine, the other a cold sheep's trotter, sprinkled with whole pepper. He gasps, standing upright. Then bending to one side, he presses a parcel against his rib and groans. Bloom.
Stitch in me side. Why did I run?
He takes breath with care and goes forward, slowly towards the lamp-set siding. The glow leaps again. Bloom.
What is that? A flasher? Searchlight?
He stands in Carmack's corner watching. Bloom.
Aurora Borealis or a steel family? Ah, the brigade, of course. South side, anyhow. Big blaze. Might be his house. Beggar's Bush. We're safe.
He hums cheerfully.
London's burning, on fire, on fire.
He catches sight of the navvy lurching through the crowd on the further side of Talbot Street.
I'll miss him. Run, quick. Get across here.
He darts to cross the road. Urchins shout.
Mind up, mister.
Two cyclists with lighted paper lanterns owsing swim by him, grazing him, their bells rattling. The bells.
Hop y'all, hop y'all, hop y'all.
Bloom halts erect, stung by a spasm.
Ow.
He looks round, darts forward suddenly through rising fog, a dragon sand strewer, traveling at caution, slews heavily down upon him, its huge red headlight winking, its trolley hissing on the wire. The motorman bangs his foot gong. The gong. The brake cracks violently. Bloom raising Bloom raising a policeman's white-gloved hand blunders stiff-leggedly out of the track. The motorman, thrown forward, pug-nosed on the guide wheel, yells as he slides past over chains and keys. The motorman.
Hey, ship britches. Are you doing a hat trick?
Bloom. Bloom trick leaps to the curbstone and halts again. He brushes a mudflake from his cheek with a parceled hand.
No thoroughfare. Close shave that, but cured the stitch. Must take up Soundow's exercises again. On the hands down. Insure against street accident too. The provocation.
He fills his trouser pocket.
Poor mama's panacea. He'll easily catch in tracks from bootless in a clog. Day the wheel of the McMariah peeled off my shoe at Leonard's corner. Third time is the charm. Shoe trick. Insolent driver, I had to report him. Tension makes them nervous. Might be the fellow bought me this morning with that horsey woman. Same style of beauty. Quick of them all the same. The stiff walk. True words spoken in jest. An awful cramp in Lad Lane. Something poisonous, Aid. Emblem of luck. Why? Probably lost cattle. Mark of the beast.
He closes his eyes an instant.
But light on the head. Monthly or the effect of the other. Brain bog back. That tired feeling. Too much for me now. Ow!
A sinister figure leans on pleated legs against O'Byrne's wall. A vintage unknown, injected with dark mercury from under a wide-leaved sombrero. The figure regards him with evil eye. Bloom.
Buenas noches, Senorita Blanca. Que cala es esta?
The figure, impassive, raises a signal arm.
Pass road. Thread my bot.
Bloom.
Aha, merci. Esperantos. Land leaf.
He mutters.
Gaelic League spy sent by that fire eater.
He steps forward. A sack-shouldered ragman bears his path. He steps left. Rag sackman left. Bloom.
I beg.
He swerves. Fiddles. Idles.
Step aside.
Idles. Yeah. Step aside. Slips past and on. Bloom.
Keep to the right. Right. If there is a finger post planned by the touring club at Step Aside who procured that public boon, I, who lost my way and contributed to the columns of the Irish Cyclist, the other headed in darkest Step Aside. Keep to the right. Rags and bones at midnight. Offense most likely. First place murderer makes for. Wash off his sins of the world.
Jackie Cafferty, hunted by Tommy Cafferty, runs full tilt against Bloom.
Oh!
Bloom. Shocked with weak hams, he halts. Tommy and Jackie vanish there. Bloom pats with parceled hands watch. Fob pocket, book pocket, purse poke, sweets of sin, potato soap. Bloom.
Beware of pickpockets. Old thieves dodge. Collide, then snatch your purse.
The retriever approaches sniffing, nose to the ground. A sprawled form sneezes. A stooped, bearded figure appears garbed in the long caftan of an elder of Zion and a smoking of magenta tassel.
Sound effects.
Good job. The part of the retriever is played. Horn spectacles hang down on the wings of the nose. Yellow poison streaks are on the drawn face. Rudolph.
Second half-crown waste money today. I told you not to go with drunken Goyeva, so you catch no money?
Bloom hides the Crubin and Trotter behind his back, and crestfallen feels warm and cold feet meet.
Ja, ich weiß, Papachi.
Rudolph,
What you making down this place? Have you no soul?
with feeble vulture talons, he fills the silent face of Bloom.
Are you not my son, Leopold? The grandson of Leopold? Are you not my dear son, Leopold, who left the house of his father, and left the God of his fathers, Abraham and Jacob?
Bloom, with precaution.
I suppose so, Father. Rosenthal. All that's left of him.
One night they bring you home drunk as dog after spend your good money. What you call them running chaps?
Bloom, in youth's smart blue Oxford suit with white vest slips, narrow-shouldered in brown alpine hat, wearing gent's sterling silver Waterbury keyless watch and double curb Albert with seal attached, one side of him coated with stiffened mud.
Sounds like a flashback. Only that once.
Once, mud head to foot, cut your hand open, lockjaw. They make you kaput, Leopolden. You watch them chaps.
Bloom weakly.
They challenged me to a sprint. It was money. I slipped.
Rudolph with contempt.
Going Natchez. Nice spectacles for your poor mother.
Bloom.
Mama.
Ellen Bloom in pantomime dame stringed mop cap. Oh Lord. Crinoline and bustle. Crinoline and bustle. Widow.
Twankies.
Twankies, blouse, and mutton leg sleeve buttoned behind, gray mittens and cameo brooch, her hair plaited with crispy net, appears over the staircase banisters, a slanted candlestick in her hand, and cries out in a shrill alarm.
Oh, blessed Redeemer, what have they done to him? My smelling salts.
She halts up the reef of her skirt and ransacks the pouch of her striped blay petticoat. A file, and Angus dye.
Agnes Day.
Agnes Day. Oh my God, I'm terrible at this. And Agnes Day, a shriveled potato, and a celluloid doll fall out.
Sacred Heart of Mary, where were you at all?
Bloom, muttering, his eyes downcast, begins to bestow his parcels in his filled pockets, but desist, muttering, a voice sharply.
Poldy!
Bloom. He ducks and wards off the blow clumsily.
At your service.
He looks up beside her mirage of date palms. A handsome woman in Turkish costume stands before him. Opulent curves fill out her scarlet trousers and jacket slashed with gold. A wide yellow cummerbund girdles her. A white yashmak, violet in the night, covers her face, leaving free only her large dark eyes and raven hair. Bloom.
Molly?
Marion.
Willie, Mrs. Marion from this out, my dear man, when you speak to me. Has poor little hubby cold feet waiting so long?
Bloom shifts from foot to foot.
No, not the least little bit.
He brushes in deep agitation. He breathes in deep agitation, swallowing gulps of air, questions, hopes, carbines for his supper. I can't say that word. For his supper, things to tell her, excuses, desire spellbound. A coin gleams on her forehead. On her feet are jeweled toe rings. Her ankles are linked by a slender feather chain. Beside her, a camel, hooded with a turreted turban, awaits. A silk ladder of innumerable rungs climbs to his bobbing howdah. He ambles near with disgruntled hindquarters. Fiercely she slaps his haunch. Her gold curb wrist bangles, arguably scalding him in Moorish. Marion.
Never cata, femininimum.
The camel, lifting a foreleg, plucks from the tree a large mango fruit opposite to his mistress. Blinking in his cloven hoof, he droops his head and, grunting with uplifted neck, fumbles to kneel. Bloom stoops his back for leapfrog. Bloom.
I can give you, as your business manager, Miss Marion, if you...
Marion.
So you noticed some change.
Her hands passing slowly over her trinketed stomacher. A slow, friendly mockery in her eyes.
Oh, Poldy, you are a poor old stick in the mud. Go and see life. See the wide world.
Bloom.
I was just going back for that lotion Whiteback's orange flower water. Shop closes early on Thursday, but the first thing in the morning.
He pats Diver's pockets.
This moving kidney,
He points to the south, then to the east. A cake of new clean lemon soap arises, diffusing light and perfume. The soap.
We're a capital couple, our Bloom and I. He brightens the earth and I polish the sky.
The freckled face of Sweeney the druggist appears in the dish of the soap sun. Sweeney.
3 and a penny, please.
Bloom.
yes, for my wife, Miss Marion. Special recipe.
Marion softly.
Poldy,
Yes, ma'am?
ti trema un poco il cuore.
In disdain, she saunters away, plump in a pampered powder pigeon, humming the duet from Don Giovanni. Bloom.
Are you sure about that voglio? The pronunciation?
He follows, followed by the sniffing terrier. The elderly bald seizes his sleeve. She's so cute. The elderly bald seizes his sleeve. The bristles of her chin mole glittering. The bald.
10 shillings a maidenhead. Fresh thing was never touched. 15. There's no one in it, only your old father that's dead drunk.
She points in the gap of her dark den furtive. Rain bed raggled Bertie Kelly stands. Bertie.
Hatch Street. Are you good in your mind? Any good in your mind?
With a squeak, she flaps her bat shawl and runs. A burly rough pursues the booted strides. She stumbles on the steps, recovers, plunges into gloom. Weak squeaks of laughter are heard, weaker the bald, her wolf eyes shining.
He's getting his pleasure. You won't get a virgin in the flash houses. 10 shillings. Don't be all night before the police in plainclothes sees us. 67 is a bitch.
Leering, Gertie McDowell limps forward. She draws from behind, ogling, and shows coyly her bloodied clout. Gertie.
With all my worldly goods, I thee and thou. You did
She
that.
mumbers.
You did that. I hate you.
Bloom.
I? When? You're dreaming. I never saw you.
Leave the gentleman alone, you cheat. Writing the gentleman false letters, street walking and soliciting. Better for your mother take the strap to at the bedpost. Hussy like you.
Gertie to Bloom.
When you saw all the secrets of my bottom drawer, dirty married man, I love you for doing that to me.
She slides away crookedly. Mrs. Breen, in man's fringe overcoat with loose bellows pockets, stands in the causeway, her roguish eyes wide open, smiling in all her herbivorous buck teeth. Mrs. Breen.
Mister?
Bloom, coughs gravely.
When we last had this pleasure by letter dated the 16th instant.
Mrs. Breen.
Mr. Bloom, you down there in the haunts of sin. I caught you nicely, scamp.
Bloom, hurriedly.
Not so loud my name. Whatever it means that you think now. Don't give me away. Walls have heels. How do you do? It's ages since You look splendid. Absolutely it. Seasonable weather we are having this time of year. Black Riffrax Brit, shortcut home here. Interesting quarter. Rescue of fallen woman. Magdalene Asylum. I am the secretary.
Mrs. Breen holds up a finger.
Now, don't you tell a big fib. I know somebody won't like that. Oh, just wait till I see Molly.
Slidly.
Count for yourself this very minute, or woe betide you.
Bloom looks behind.
She often said she'd like to visit. Slumming. The exotic, you see. Negro servants, too, in livery if she had money. Othello Black Brute. Eugene Stratton. Even the Bones and Cornermen at the Livermore Christie's. Bohee Brothers. Sweet for that matter.
Tom and Sam Bobee, colored coons in white duck suits, white duck suits, scarlet socks, unstarched Sambo chokers, and large scarlet asters in their buttonholes leap out. Each has a banjo slung. The paler, smaller negroid hands jingle in the twang wires, flashing white kaffir eyes and tusk. They rattle through a breakdown in clumsy clogs, swinging, singing, back to back, toe, heel, toe, with smack, fat, clanging nigger lips.